Published 1339 EDT, the 11th of October 2017. Updated 1843 EDT, the 11th of October 2017. Cara Delevingne is the latest star to come forward and bravely detail how she was almost sexually assaulted by Harvey Weinstein. In a lengthy statement posted on Instagram, the British model-turned actress said that after meeting Weinstein at a hotel lobby, he asked her to come up to his room, where another woman was waiting for the pair. Weinstein then told the two women to kiss, which Delevingne said that she got out of by suddenly breaking into song. Then, when she announced that she had to leave, Weinstein tried to kiss her on the lips as she prepared to walk out the door. Delevingne, 25, said that she still got the part in the film, and has felt guilty about it ever since. The actress has filmed 2 movies for the Weinstein Company, including her breakout role in their 2015 picture Paper Towns and the recently released Tulip Fever. Scroll down for videos. New claims. Cara Delevingne above. In 2014 with Weinstein's wife Georgina Chapman claims that Harvey Weinstein tried to get her to engage in a threesome with him and another woman in an NYC hotel room. Predator. Weinstein could be seen leering at the model when she walked the runway for Burberry in February 2014 above. A few months before their possible hotel meeting. Rush to go. Delevingne met inside a hotel back in August 2014 above and rushed out with a script. Soon after, Weinstein revealed she had received a role in Tulip Fever. When I first started to work as an actress, I was working on a film and I received a call from Harvey Weinstein asking if I had slept with any of the women I was seen out with in the media, said Delevingne. It was a very odd and uncomfortable call. I answered none of his questions and hurried off the phone, but before I hung up, he said to me that if I was gay or decided to be with a woman, especially in public, that I'd never get the role of a straight woman or make it as an actress in Hollywood. That was the end of that conversation apparently, until she met with him a year later to discuss a film. I went to a meeting with him in the lobby of a hotel with a director about an upcoming film, wrote Delevingne. The director left the meeting and Harvey asked me to stay and chat with him. As soon as we were alone, he began to brag about all the actresses he had slept with and how he had made their careers, and spoke about other inappropriate things of a sexual nature. She continued. He then invited me to his room. This scenario is almost identical to the one described by multiple other women over the past week, with the number of victims now topping 30 and more still speaking out. I quickly declined and asked his assistant if my car was outside. She said it wasn't and wouldn't be for a bit and I should go to his room, said Delevingne. At that moment I felt very powerless and scared, but didn't want to act that way, hoping that I was wrong about the situation. When I arrived, I was relieved to find another woman in his room and thought immediately I was safe. He asked us to kiss and she began some sort of advances upon his direction. Delevingne, who is still just starting out in the film industry after her success in the modeling world, did the first thing that came to mind. I swiftly got up and asked him if he knew that I could sing. And I began to sing. I thought it would make the situation better, more professional, like an audition. I was so nervous, revealed Delevingne. After singing, I said again that I had to leave. That was not the end of it though, according to the young woman. Disgraced Weinstein walking in NYC in October 2015 above. He walked me to the door and stood in front of it and tried to kiss me on the lips. I stopped him and managed to get out of the room, said Delevingne. I still got the part for the film and always thought that he gave it to me because of what happened. She went on to write, since then I felt awful that I did the movie. I felt like I didn't deserve the part. I was so hesitant about speaking out. I didn't want to hurt his family. I felt guilty, as if I did something wrong. I was also terrified that this sort of thing had happened to so many women I know, but no one had said anything because of fear. In February 2014, Weinstein could be seen leering at the beauty as she walked down the Burberry catwalk, and just a few months later she was seen leaving a New York City hotel with a script under her arm shortly after she was offered her role in Tulip Fever by Weinstein. The director of that film, Justin Chadwick, expressed his disbelief over those who had aided Weinstein in his attempt to lure in these young women on Tuesday. Also horrifying is the complicity of Harvey Weinstein's colleagues, cronies who knew about the pig's behavior and remained silent. Broke out. Delevingne now joins a growing list of women who have shared their stories with the New York Times and New Yorker, including Angelina Jolie, who said she stopped working with Weinstein after he made a move on her in a hotel room during a press junket for her film Playing by Heart. At the same time, Ben Affleck has found himself under fire after actress Hillary Burton spoke about how the actor groped her during an appearance on the MTV show Total Request Live back in 2003, which he apologized for on Wednesday. He also came under attack from Rose McGowan, who disputed his claim on Tuesday that he was unaware of Weinstein's harassment and assault of women, claiming the actor acknowledged his predatory ways to her in 1997 after her incident with the executive at the Sundance Film Festival. Angelina Jolie above in September said that she never worked with Weinstein again after her made unwanted sexual advances on her while filming Playing by Heart. Leading Lady Paltrow arrived at Weinstein's hotel and he began to massage her and then asked her to join him in the bedroom above with Weinstein. Edward Zwick and her Best Actress Oscar in 1999 GWYNETH. Paltrow: I was a kid, I was signed up, I was petrified, said Paltrow, who revealed that when she was told to meet Weinstein in his hotel room she did not think anything suspicious of it because it came on a fax from Creative Artists Agency. Once she arrived at the hotel, he began to massage her and then asked her to join him in the bedroom. She rejected his advance and drove away devastated, thinking, "I thought you were my Uncle Harvey," she told then-boyfriend Brad Pitt about the incident, she said, who then confronted Weinstein. Weinstein came back to the actress and told her to never tell anyone what happened between them again. At the time, Paltrow was preparing to shoot the lead role in Miramax's new adaptation of Jane Austen's Emma alongside Toni Collette and Ewan McGregor. "He screamed at me for a long time," said Paltrow. "It was brutal." A few years later she was a superstar and Oscar winner, but she did not have the power to share her story. "I was expected to keep the secret," said Paltrow, who called Weinstein alternately generous and supportive in championing, and punitive and bullying. She has now decided, however, to no longer staying quiet. "We're at a point in time when women need to send a clear message that this is over," said Paltrow. "This way of treating women ends now. More victims emerge." Asia Argento above in 2004 says that Harvey Weinstein raped her in a hotel room at the Hotel du Capitaine Rock back in 1997. Site Argento said that her assault occurred in 1997 at the Hotel du Capitaine Rock in France above. Asia Argento. Argento says that she became suspicious when the party she arrived at was just an empty hotel room, but was assured that people would soon be arriving by Weinstein. Then, he emerged from the bathroom in a robe and holding a bottle of lotion, says the actress, who was just 21 at the time. "He asks me to give a massage. I was like, look man, I am no fing fool," said Argento, "but, looking back, I am a fing fool. And I am still trying to come to grips with what happened." The actress, who is the daughter of famed Italian director Dario Argento, said that once Weinstein began performing oral sex on her there was no way for her to stop him because he was so much bigger than her. "It wouldn't stop. It was a nightmare," said Argento, who eventually decided to pretend she was enjoying the act in hopes that it would end. When it was over, Argento said she sat on the bed and told her attacked, "I am not a whore." He laughed at her and said he would put that on a shirt. According to Argento, who said that Weinstein contacted her for months after the attack and even began offering her expensive gifts, Argento eventually relented and over time became close to her attacker, and even engaged in consensual relations with him. She admits, she explained the sudden shift by saying that it was a few months before the release of her 1999 film Bee Monkey and she was afraid that if she did not agree to Weinstein's advances he might destroy her career. The following year, Argento released her film Scarlet Diva, which had a scene similar to the one she experienced 3 years earlier in France. In that film, a young actress is cornered by a big producer in a room with one crucial difference. "In the movie I wrote, I ran away," said Argento. When she told Weinstein that the character was based on him he simply laughed, said Argento. It has been 20 years now since that encounter, and Argento still struggles, especially when she sees Weinstein. "When I see him, it makes me feel little and stupid and weak," said Argento. After the rape, he won. In total, 13 women told The New Yorker that they were sexually harassed or assaulted by Weinstein and 3 said that they were raped. Shortly before the story was published, Weinstein asked Argento to meet with a private investigator and give testimony on his behalf. Mighty Harvey Mira Sorvino says that Weinstein made sexual advances towards her back in 1995 in a hotel room and later by showing up to her apartment unannounced. Sorvino and her husband Chris Backus with Weinstein in 2006 support. Soon after the article was published, Sorvino tweeted, "Very proud of my sisters in spirit who had the courage to break the silence." Mira Sorvino and Arquette both say their careers took a nosedive when they dared to reject Weinstein. Sorvino said that Weinstein's attempts to engage with her began in 1995, when she was promoting her role in Woody Allen's Mighty Aphrodite, for which she would go on to win the Academy Award. He began to massage her shoulders while the two were alone in a hotel room at the Toronto Film Festival, according to Sorvino, who said that he then tried to take things further but she was able to ward him off at the time. A few weeks later he managed to bypass her doorman and make it up to her apartment around midnight, at which point she told him her boyfriend was on the way after calling a male friend to rush over. Sorvino believed that this rejection of Weinstein ultimately hurt her career. There may have been other factors, but I definitely felt iced out and that my rejection of Harvey had something to do with it, said the actress. Soon after the article was published, Sorvino tweeted, "Very proud of my sisters in spirit who had the courage to break the silence. Very hard for me, more so for others. We took our power back." She later added that her story pales in comparison to some of the others. One of those women was initially on the record detailing her experience until the last second. "I'm so sorry, the legal angle is coming at me and I have no recourse," she said, having to suddenly remove all her claims and name from the piece. Damn story. Rosanna Arquette says she met Weinstein in a hotel room and he asked her to give him a massage, then tried to have her touch his erect penis. Arquette and Weinstein above in 2001 support. Patricia Arquette tweeted her support for sister Rosanna on Tuesday. Above, good friend Ro, I am so sorry. I know what your secret has cost you. I take full responsibility for not being the friend I should have been. I hope it's not too late. At Ro Arquette, wrote Ellen Barkin. Above, Rosanna Arquette. Arquette says that her encounter with Weinstein happened in the early 90s, when she had been sent to pick up a script from the producer at a restaurant in Beverly Hills. Soon after she arrived, she was asked to instead meet Weinstein in his hotel room. Once inside the room, Arquette said that Weinstein asked her for a massage, and eventually pulled her hand towards his erect penis. "I will never do that," Arquette said that she told Weinstein. Weinstein soon exacted his revenge, she claims, saying he made things very difficult for me for years. Arquette and Sorvino were arguably both at the heights of their career during the moments when these incidents occurred, and their careers did noticeably cool down with fewer roles in prestige pictures. Many of the actresses were connected within the industry, but that did not seem to matter to Weinstein. Sorvino is the daughter of Goodfellas actor Paul Sorvino, Rosanna the sister of Patricia and David Arquette, and Argento the daughter of Suspiria director Dario Argento. Rosanna's Oscar-winning sister, who has been supportive of all the women who have come forward this far, wrote about her siblings' bravery on Tuesday. "I am very proud of my sister at Ro Arquette and all the women and men police who spoke up in this article," said Patricia Arquette. "Rosanna Arquette is my oldest friend in this business. Ro, I am so sorry. I know what your secret has cost you. I take full responsibility for not being the friend I should have been. I hope it's not too late." At Ro Arquette, wrote Ellen Barkin. Nicole Kidman also weighed in on Tuesday, saying, "As I've stated before publicly, I support and applaud all women and these women who speak out against any abuse and misuse of power, be it domestic violence or sexual harassment in the workforce. We need to eradicate this behavior." And rounding out the new voices speaking out were Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, who denied that he had helped to kill a 2004 story that was set to reveal Weinstein's sexual harassment of women. "If there was ever an event that I was at and Harvey was doing this kind of thing and I didn't see it, then I am so deeply sorry, because I would have stopped it," said Damon in an interview with Deadline, "and I will peel my eyes back now, farther than I ever have, to look for this type of behavior." Recording model Amber Battalana above can be heard repeatedly rejecting Weinstein's requests to have her join him in his bedroom in a recording obtained by The New Yorker. Amber Battalana. The New Yorker article also contains new revelations about Amber Battalana, who accused Weinstein of groping her back in 2015, then watched as District Attorney Cyrus Vance elected not to press charges. The aspiring actress said Weinstein grabbed her breasts and put his hand up her skirt in a meeting in his office. She fled and reported the incident to the NYPD. The next day she agreed to meet the executive again, but this time was recording the exchange for officers. In the audio, obtained by The New Yorker, Weinstein apologizes but then tries to coax her into his hotel room. Battalana says no multiple times before Weinstein finally gives up and they return downstairs. The most damning exchange is the one when Weinstein admits to groping the model. "Oh, please, I'm sorry, just come on in. I'm used to that. Come on, please," Weinstein can be heard saying on the tape. "You're used to that," responded Battalana. "Yes, I want to do it again," said Harvey. The recording has now led many to call for the firing of Cyrus Vance, who just a few months after deciding to drop charges got a $10,000 check for his campaign from Weinstein's lawyer David Boies. "We had the evidence," said a police source. "It's a case that made me angrier than I thought possible, and I have been on the force a long time." Manhattan Chief Assistant District Attorney Karen Friedman Agnifilo responded to the release of the audio in a statement on Tuesday. "If we could have prosecuted Harvey Weinstein for the conduct that occurred in 2015, we would have. Mr. Weinstein's pattern of mistreating women, as recounted in recent reports, is disgraceful and shocks the conscience," said Friedman Agnifilo. While the recording is horrifying to listen to, what emerged from the audio was insufficient to prove a crime under New York law, which requires prosecutors to establish criminal intent. She then added subsequent investigative steps undertaken in order to establish intent were not successful. This, coupled with other proof issues, meant that there was no choice but to conclude the investigation without criminal charges. Emma DeCons above September said that Weinstein had her come up to his hotel room, then emerged from the shower naked and asked her to join him in bed. Emma DeCaunes French actress Emma DeCons said that she met Weinstein in 2010, soon after he told her he had a script he was producing based on a book with a strong female character. Weinstein offered to show her the script, and asked her up to his hotel room, where he began to take a shower. He then emerged naked and with an erection, asking her to lay down with him on the bed and telling her that many had done so before. "I was very petrified," said DeCons. "But I didn't want to show him that I was petrified, because I could feel that the more I was freaking out, the more he was excited." When she told him that she had to leave, Weinstein responded by telling the actress, "We haven't done anything, it's like being in a Walt Disney movie." DeCons said that she then gathered all her strength and turned around, telling Weinstein, "I've always hated Walt Disney movie." As a director at the studio she went to film it after the encounter confirmed that she was terrified and immediately shared details of her account, with Weinstein calling the women repeatedly to offer her expensive gifts. She also said that, despite the statements of stars like Meryl Streep, there was no one in Hollywood who was unaware of Weinstein's behavior. "I know that everybody in Hollywood knows that it's happening," said DeCons. "He's not even really hiding. I mean, the way he does it, so many people are involved and see what's happening. But everyone's too scared to say anything." Familiar patter Judith Godrèche above was lured into Weinstein's bedroom and then given a massage, she said, making her exit when he tried to take off her sweater. Judith Godrèche French star Judith Godrèche said that she, like so many other women, was alone with Weinstein when he offered to give her a massage. She was at the Hotel de Cap, just like Argentos, when Weinstein invited her to his room after breakfast. "I was so naive and unprepared," said Godrèche, who was 24 at the time. Soon after the massage began, Weinstein tried to rip off Godrèche's sweater, she said, at which point she fled the room. The actress told her father and later phoned a Miramax executive, who told her not to complain and keep quiet about the incident. "They put my face on the poster," said Godrèche, whose breakout role in the film Ridicule was released around the same time. In the 20 years since the 1996 incident, she has stayed on good terms with the executive, sending emails from time to time and keeping in touch because she felt it was necessary for her career. "I tried to negotiate the situation over the years, and negotiate with myself and pretend it kind of never happened," said Godrèche. "I wish I'd had someone to talk to say, how do you deal with this speaking up? I just hope that my story and the other brave women who came forward can stop him from making other women feel powerless," wrote Lucia Evans on Twitter above Alicia Stoller. Lucia Evans née Stoller was a college student preparing for her senior year at Middlebury in 2004 when she met Weinstein at Cipriani in New York City. She wanted to be an actress and gave the executive her phone number, eventually agreeing to come in and read for a female casting director at Weinstein's offices in Tribeca. When she arrived, however, she was taken to meet Weinstein in a room with empty takeout boxes and exercise equipment. The two spoke for a bit and then, according to Evans, Weinstein pulled out his penis and forced her to perform oral sex on him inside the office. "I said, over and over, I don't want to do this, stop, don't," said Evans. Evans was in college when she was raped by Weinstein. She said he tried to get away, but maybe I didn't try hard enough. I didn't want to kick him or fight him. His size proved to be too much for Evans, however, who found herself completely helpless. "I just sort of gave up. That's the most horrible part of it, and that's why he's been able to do this for so long to so many women. People give up, and then they feel like it's their fault," said Evans. Weinstein later acted as if nothing had happened, she said, and began calling her at night to meet, said Evans, who turned down the executive. The repercussions from the incident last to this day, however, with Evans saying she still had nightmares. "I had an eating problem for years. I was disgusted with myself. It's funny, all these unrelated things I did to hurt myself because of this one thing," said Evans. "I ruined several really good relationships because of this. My schoolwork definitely suffered, and my roommates told me to go to a therapist because they thought I was going to kill myself." Another woman who claimed Weinstein raped her revealed that she feared going to the police and even stayed in contact with the man because of the power he wielded in the industry. "I was in a vulnerable position and I needed my job," said the woman. "It just increases the shame and the guilt." suddenly finding their voice. Oscar-winning screenwriters Ben Affleck and Matt Damon above in 2010, with Weinstein decided to finally speak out against their friend on Tuesday. Emily Nestor, the former assistant at the Weinstein Company, was first revealed to be one of the movie mogul's victims last week in the New York Times initial expose. She was 25 back in 2014 when she was starting at the company, and on the very first day Weinstein had her take his number and asked her to join him for a drink. She declined and asked if they could do an early morning coffee instead, expecting him to turn down the offer. Weinstein did not, according to Nestor, who, having been warned of his behavior, dressed frumpy for their breakfast. The talk soon turned sexual, however, despite the venue and time of day. He said, "You know, we could have a lot of fun," said Nestor. "I could put you in my London office, and you could work there and you could be my girlfriend." When she declined, her replied, "Oh, the girls always say no. You know, no, no. And then they have a beer or two and then they're throwing themselves at me." At that same breakfast, she also said that she watched him plant a negative item about an unnamed individual in relation to a story that was playing out at the time involving Amy Adams, who was starring in the Weinstein Company film Big Eyes. That seems to be a reference to Adam's refusal to discuss the Sony hack at that time, which resulted in her being booted from an appearance on Today. "I was very afraid of him. And I knew how well connected he was. And how if I pissed him off then I could never have a career in that industry," said Nestor. She ended up alerting human resources of her issues despite being a temporary employee at the company, having spent the entire morning also fighting off his unwanted sexual advances. "It made me feel incredibly discouraged that this could be something that happens on a regular basis," said Nestor. "I actually decided not to go into entertainment because of this incident." Victim after meeting Weinstein at a 2011 Golden Globes party, Jessica Barth above was asked to come sit down with the movie man for a meeting at his hotel, the Peninsula. Bravely speaking, Barth tweeted on Tuesday, "This is brutal. Thank you at Ronan Farrow and to every single woman having the courage to share their story and to those offering support." Jessica Barth after meeting Weinstein at a 2011 Golden Globes party, Jessica Barth was asked to come sit down with the movie man for a meeting at his hotel, the Peninsula. When she arrived, he had ordered champagne and sushi so that the two could talk career stuff. What instead happened, however, was Weinstein requesting the Barth give him a naked massage in bed while then bringing the conversation back to her career, said the young woman. "So, what would happen if, say, we're having some champagne and I take my clothes off and you give me a massage?" Barth said Weinstein asked her. She informed him that would not happen and then prepared to make her exit, at which point Weinstein called her fat and said she needed to lose weight if she wanted to compete with Mila Kunis. Barth drove home in tears, with multiple people saying they hears the same version of this story soon after, while a promised meeting with an executive at Weinstein's company ended up being nothing more than a formality. She would later star in the film Ted and its sequel, and will next seen in Tell Me Your Name. Barth tweeted on Tuesday, "This is brutal. Thank you at Ronan Farrow and to every single woman having the courage to share their story and to those offering support." Louisette Geis above and Tuesday said that Weinstein promised her a film deal if she would watch him masturbate in the tube. Louisette Geis in a press conference with her attorney Gloria Allred on Tuesday, Louisette Geis said that Weinstein invited her to his temporary office for a meeting during the 2008 Sundance Film Festival in Utah under the pretense of discussing her new movie. Geis said that he insisted on listening to her pitch in his hot tub after emerging from the bathroom 30 minutes into the meeting naked in an unfastened bathrobe. She claims that he asked her to watch him masturbate and that when she told him she was leaving, he grabbed her arm and pulled her into the bathroom. "I kept talking as he got into the hot tub. When I finished my pitch, he asked me to watch him masturbate. I told him I was leaving. He quickly got out of the hot tub," said Geis. Weinstein then promised her career perks if he would stay and watch him pleasure himself in the tub, according to Geis. "As I went to get my purse to leave, he grabbed my forearm and led me to his bathroom, pleading that I just watch him masturbate. My heart was racing and I was very scared," said Geis. "I pulled my arm away finally and headed to the door. He started following me and telling me that he could introduce me to Bob Weinstein and that I could get a 3-picture deal and that he would greenlight my script, but I had to watch him masturbate." She then added, "I was on the verge of tears but I pulled it together and quickly exited, running free." Catherine Kendall above fled from Weinstein's apartment after he asked for a massage while naked. Catherine Kendall was 23 when Weinstein incited her to a screening with him in 1993 at a theater in Lincoln Center, right near his Central Park apartment. The two stopped by the apartment soon after because Weinstein wanted to grab something, and the Kendall came along after the two had enjoyed what she thought was a fruitful discussion about her career. No sooner had they arrived, however, than Weinstein appeared in his bathrobe and asked for a massage, according to the actress. He then left the room and returned naked, said Kendall. "He literally chased me," said the actress, who would go on to star in Swingers. "He wouldn't let me pass him to get to the door." Weinstein then asked Kendall to show her breasts at the very least, which she declined to do before leaving, but the entire evening made her question her coercive profession. Kendall said that, as she left, she thought, "If this is what it takes, I can't do it." Tomiann Roberts, when she, a 20-year-old waitress trying to break into the film industry, Tomiann Roberts got the chance to meet with Weinstein and audition for a film he was making at the time. She arrived to find Weinstein in a tub, at which point he encouraged her to take off her top since there would be a topless scene in the film, she claims. He then told her if she was not comfortable taking off her top, then she would not be able to do it on camera, according to Roberts. She left, and to this day finds it hard to watch Weinstein's films. Dawn Dunning, an aspiring actress. Dawn Dunning landed a screen test at Miramax in 2003, followed by dinner with Weinstein. She was told to meet him in his suite that night because his meetings were running late, and found him with contracts for his 3 next films placed in front of him, said. Dunning claims she was then told she could sign on for a role in each if she would have 3-way sex with Weinstein. She denied the request. "Yeah, I'll never make it in this business," she said. Weinstein told her, "This is how the business works." Dunning left the business and decided to start working as a costume designer. "Hands where my eyes can see." Ashley Judd posed for a photo with Harvey Weinstein and Vince Vaughn at a 1997 Oscars party above, just months after he sexually harassed her at his hotel. Ashley Judd met Weinstein for a meeting in 1996 that took place in his room at the Peninsula. She said that she felt uncomfortable almost as soon as she arrived in Weinstein's room, revealing that she chose cereal from room service when it came time to order because it would arrive quicker than a hot meal. Judd said she was asked to give Weinstein a massage and then a shoulder rub, both of which she declined while trying to get herself out of the room. That is when he asked her to help him pick out his clothes for the day and then watch him shower. "I said no, a lot of ways, a lot of times, and he always came back at me with some new ask," said Judd. "It was all this bargaining, this coercive bargaining." She eventually made her escape by joking that Weinstein would have to help her win an Oscar before she would be willing to touch him, stating that the prestige of working for his studio made it too difficult to forcefully shut down his harassment. "There's a lot on the line, the cachet that came with Miramax," explained Judd. Rose McGowan. The incident that occurred between the two in a hotel room at the 1997 Sundance Film Festival has never been revealed, but McGowan did receive a $100,000 settlement. For that, she had to SOGN an NDA, and while she has stayed silent about the events, she has been the most vocal about ending the cycle of abuse in Hollywood. On Tuesday, she called out Ben Affleck when he claimed to have no idea about the harassment while referring to McGowan as a spineless profiteer. Laura Madden. It was also in 1991 when Weinstein sexually harassed one of his assistants who was working overseas. Laura Madden said that she was asked by Weinstein to give him massages while he was staying at hotels in Dublin and London at that time. "It was so manipulative," said Madden. "You constantly question yourself, am I the one who is the problem? Hello, I must be going." Georgina Chapman. Above on Friday is still standing by her Manani allegations of non-consensual sex are unequivocally denied by Mr. Weinstein. Mr. Weinstein has further confirmed that there were never any acts of retaliation against any women for refusing his advances, said a spokesperson for Weinstein. Mr. Weinstein obviously can't speak to anonymous allegations, but with respect to any women who have made allegations on the record, Mr. Weinstein believes that all of these relationships were consensual. Mr. Weinstein has begun counseling, has listened to the community, and is pursuing a better path. Mr. Weinstein is hoping that, if he makes enough progress, he will be given a second chance, Jennifer Lawrence stated. Although she had not witnessed Weinstein's inappropriate acts herself, she still condemned the producer Matt Damon as the father of 4 daughters. "This is the kind of sexual predation that keeps me up at night. This is the great fear for all of us. I did 5 or 6 movies with Harvey. I never saw this. I feel horrible for these women, and it's wonderful they have this incredible courage and are standing up now. We can all feel this change that's happening, which is necessary and overdue." Ben Affleck. "I am saddened and angry that a man who I worked with used his position of power to intimidate, sexually harass and manipulate many women over decades. Nicole Kidman. As I've stated before publicly, I support and applaud all women and these women who speak out against any abuse and misuse of power, be it domestic violence or sexual harassment in the workforce. We need to eradicate this behavior. George Clooney. I suppose the argument would be that it's not just about Hollywood, but about all of us, that every time you see someone using their power and influence to take advantage of someone without power and influence and you don't speak up, you're complicit. Jennifer Lawrence. I was deeply disturbed to hear the news about Harvey Weinstein's behavior. This kind of abuse is inexcusable and absolutely upsetting. Kate Winslet. His behavior is without question disgraceful and appalling and very, very wrong. I had hoped that these kind of stories were just made-up rumors. Maybe we have all been naive. Meryl Streep. The disgraceful news about Harvey Weinstein has appalled those of us whose work he championed, and those whose good and worthy causes he supported. Kate Winslet said Weinstein's behavior was appalling and very wrong. Glenn Close. I'm angry, not just at him and the conspiracy of silence around his actions, but also that the casting couch phenomenon, so to speak, is still a reality in our business and in the world. The horrible pressure, the awful expectation put on a woman when a powerful, egotistical, entitled bully expects sexual favors in exchange for a job. Judi Dench. Whilst there is no doubt that Harvey Weinstein has helped and championed my film career for the past 20 years, I was completely unaware of these offenses, which are, of course, horrifying, and I offer my sympathy to those who have suffered, and wholehearted support to those who have spoken out. Mark Ruffalo said it was a disgusting abuse of power. Romola Garai. Like every other woman in the industry, I've had an audition with Harvey Weinstein. So I had to go to his hotel room in the Savoy and he answered the door in his bathrobe. I was only 18. I felt violated by it. Ashley Judd. Women have been talking about Harvey amongst ourselves for a long time, and it's simply beyond time to have the conversation publicly. Mark Ruffalo. To be clear, what Harvey Weinstein did was a disgusting abuse of power and horrible. I hope we are now seeing the beginning of the end of these abuses. James Gunn. If even 1/110th of the stories about Harvey Weinstein are true, and I believe they are, then good thing riddance. That SS gotta stop. Lena Dunham. Easy to think Weinstein Company took swift action, but this has actually been the slowest action, because they always knew. Susan Sarandon. Huge respect for Ashley Judd and all the women who broke their silence for the article on Harvey Weinstein. Brave. Julianne Moore. Coming forward about sexual abuse and coercion is scary, and women have nothing to be gained personally by doing so, but through their bravery we move forward as a culture, and I thank them. Stand with Ashley Judd, Rose McGowan and others. Jessica Chastain. I was warned from the beginning. The stories were everywhere. To deny that is to create an environment for it to happen again. Jeff Bridges. I wish him the best, struggling with his demons, but his behavior was terrible. And I wish him just as being a fellow human being. We are all struggling with different things. And he can struggle with his and come out the other side. Kevin Smith. He financed the first 14 years of my career, and now I know, while I was profiting, others were in terrible pain. It makes me feel ashamed. Paul Feig. There is no excuse for monsters like Harvey Weinstein. It's up to all of us, men and women, to speak up against sexual harassment and abuse. Michael Keaton. H. Weinstein. Yikes, disgusting and creepy. So is leader of the free world, by the way. Heather Graham is one of a number of actors to speak out against Weinstein. Emmy Rossum. The old dinosaur explanation doesn't cut it. Decades of using power to intimidate women for sexual gain is reprehensible and inexcusable. Heather Graham. Women speak out about sexual harassment and Harvey Weinstein gets fired. This is the best and most inspiring news story I have seen in a while. Judd Apatow. What Harvey Weinstein did was abhorrent. He admits he did it. Why should anyone be silent in their disgust and support for his victims? Amber Tamblyn. Heed the mantra and never forget women have nothing to gain and everything to lose by coming forward. Scott Derrickson. I expect the Hollywood elite will remain largely silent about Weinstein. Me, I give zero f's about any repercussions for condemning him. Brooklyn Decker. We condemn. Grab them by the PY and we condone this. Patricia Arquette. If there is a way to cure yourself of being a predator, then I hope Harvey learns what it is, shares it with the world. It's an epidemic. Ryan Murphy. In this society, most women have a Harvey Weinstein in their life. There is always a minefield you navigate when you're a woman and go through the system of Hollywood. Sometimes you are lucky enough to have champions or people who aren't interested in taking advantage of you, and sometimes you do not. I know my way around an Oscar-winning lady or two, and whenever he would come up in conversation, there was always this ick or F type of reaction. All of the women I spoke to would say that. All of them. I wondered what was up with that.